Right, hello everybody. Today we're just going to be going through a league with Arclight Phoenix. I want to get a better sample size for how it's doing in the current meta. Um, I posted a previous video with an actual deck in it, so check that out if you want some more details. But some simple version is that we're playing Arclight Phoenix with Treasure Cruise, Thing in the Ice, and Storming Entity. And then we have two Wild Slashes that usually aren't there to be able to help with our mono green planeswalker matchups, that we can bolt those elves when they come down, because since we kind of need to be able to do that if we want to win those matchups. Anyway, yeah, let's throw this in the league and see how we do. Um, right. This has actually been one of my more successful decks on the in Pioneer Leagues. It's really fun. I actually know a lot about the play patterns in this deck, and I think I'm probably just going to practice this. Then I'm also going to showcase some of the meta decks. I'm worse at those, but that's okay sometimes. Um, so yeah, let's hop into this. If our opponent wants to join the match, that is. Alright, let's get started. We'll be on the play. This is a perfectly keepable hand. It'd be better if like one of these lands was a Tome Scour, but I'm not going to do all that much complaining here. Alright, so we'll start with a Spiral of Canal and pass the turn. Right, Temple of Triumph. This might signal something like Feather. Which case, not sure if I should be happy or not. Feels like that should be a pretty tough matchup for us. They're able to put down a really good clock and are also able to kill our things because of Reckless Rage being able to just kill Thing in the Ice. Then they can also save favorite hoplites. Although it might be another Boros deck signaling, or because they have like two Temple of Triumphs. I don't know. I've seen some more controlling or combo Boros decks. Tome Scour is a very good draw. So let's strategic planning to start things off. Wow, okay. They haven't signaled any creatures, but we already have like Treasure Cruise, because drawing 3 cards is some type of card selection, right? I think we just want Lightning Axe in the case that they're a more aggressive deck. And then I think we want to play Islands. Next turn, we will be able to Treasure Cruise, and then hopefully draw the spells that we need. Understand this magic language? Well, join us. Play Magic. Play the best game, Magic the Gathering. Okay, then we can pass to them. They go Plains. What are they playing now? Yeah, I haven't played it. Like, they've played nothing to actually be able to signal a given archetype. Getting into the trials. Okay, that's fine. It is the same permanent when it flips, though, right? I think so. We'll draw a card. You got into League, you can't handle any more time-consuming games. I mean, that's fair. Magic does take a lot of time, like, to learn. Do we just have to delve our whole yard? No, we can leave one in there. I think keep opt in there for the purposes of, like, finale. So yeah, we are preventing all damage that would be dealt by that permanent. I think what we want to do is it Charm? We'll draw 2, discard 2. Worst comes to worst, we can Lightning Axe our own Thing in the Ice, bring back birds. Or, oh wow, okay. It's pretty much just Anger of the Gods or bust for them. So we'll Wild Slash, get into the trials, bring back 3 birds, and deal 6 to them and kill Gideon. Not too shabby. Again, if they have Anger of the Gods, that might be annoying, but that also requires them to completely tap out on their turn. Okay, that's actually just not that bad. They're tapping out to do that, and we still have ways that we can bring those back. Right? Storming Entity. Let's just attack them for 7, and then play a Storming Entity. We're going to be scrying any good spells to the top, so like even if they kill Stormwing Entity, yes, we definitely want Izzet Charm. And even if they kill Stormwing Entity, we're still not in the absolute worst shape. Since we can just, okay, cool. They tap out and give us the win. Right, so they seem to be a grindier deck. Maybe with a little Planeswalker interaction, so I think I like Saheeli. They have access to Rest in Peace, so I'm not sure I like Oxyvagonus. I don't think we want any of those cards. I think all we're gonna bring in is Saheeli, and then maybe trim 2 Wild Slashes. Actually, I think maybe trim 1 Wild Slash, trim 1 Lightning Axe. This is probably slightly better. Oh. We didn't do it in time. That's cool. Or that's okay. This has no discard outlets and 2 Arclight Phoenixes, so I'm really hesitant keeping this. I'm gonna actually mulligan. This is a much better keep. I think we can bottom probably Opt. We're not necessarily really wanting any early spells. I think we just want to probably play like land go, then a strategic planning, and then like play Saheeli, and then leverage our Tome Scour and Treasure Cruise. Probably seems like the best plan here. We're generally not going to be using that Opt. Play tap Sacred Foundry, go. Izzet Charm? Interesting. Play tap Steam Vents, go. Mutavault. So maybe it is a more aggressive deck? Okay, Rest in Peace. That turns off Treasure Cruise and makes Tome Scour mostly a dead card. At least we have Saheeli, and there's some type of like bounce effects in the deck, so we can deal with that if we really need to. So this is actually going to matter which one we take. I think generally we don't want Izzet Charm or Lightning Axe. Steam Vents is pretty good though. I don't mind a land. Getting into the Trials. Okay. So that can turn into at most a 4/4, and they might have some like shock effects. So I actually think I'm gonna slow roll the Saheeli. I'll shock in. Actually, I do not need to shock this in. So I will play in and play a Steam Vents tapped, and pass the turn. And I think we're just really gonna need to use the Saheeli, which means we need chump blockers for her. Yep, so that's fine. I really don't mind that much, just getting hit for 4. Really gonna matter what they play next. Okay. I should have Izzet Charmed that. That was a huge punt. I still don't think I'm gonna kill that Knight Ally. Let's just... Oh, that's a huge punt. Alright, fuck. I think I just want to pick up my cards. That was really bad. Let's do the change that we were actually wanting to earlier. Right. Just run the play of this game. Let's just focus on this. Unless they drop an early Rest in Peace, this hand is really good. Although the fact that it relies so much on them not having hate that they likely play like 3 of makes me really hesitant to keep it, so I'm actually gonna mulligan. And this is an easy keep. And I think we bottom the opt, or we could bottom a land and then opt on our first turn. I think those are like functionally equivalent, so I think that's what we want to do. We bottom a Shivan Reef, and then pass to them. There's a chance that we don't hit a land off the opt, but that's just whatever. Right, Shivan Reef is fine. If we get a discard outlet, that's pretty nice. Strategic planning offers us a good amount of card draw, so we can usually get what we want. And Saheeli Sublime Artificer seems like a great pick here. We're setting up really well for any kind of like treasure cruise. Right, Rest in Peace is annoying, but we can string together some spells later. Like if we draw an IZZET Charm, we'll still be able to res birds by bouncing that. So we're gonna want to use this Petty Theft very discretionally. So we play Spiral Bluff Canal, and then we will play Saheeli. Pass the turn. And we can also just like play Arclight Phoenixes. They're really good at attacking Gideons. Birth of Meletus. Sure. So this is like a Boros like value planeswalker deck, it seems like. It's a really cool deck though. I'm really enjoying playing against it. Opt. That's pretty good. Let's play Sulphur Falls. And I think I like opting a little better than I do playing an Arclight Phoenix. We have enough threats to where I'm actually comfortable putting that in the bottom. Not the best straw, but that's okay. Now what we can do if they play like a particularly threatening planeswalker is like play an Arclight Phoenix, down tick Saheeli, and then make one of our servos an Arclight Phoenix. So now we're absolutely forced to use Petty Theft. Because that's going to transmogrify into something that I don't exactly think we're going to be all that happy with. Finale, I promise, isn't that good against Rest in Peace. So we'll Arclight Phoenix, turn a servo into an Arclight Phoenix, and then Kraken for 8. Alright, Snarethopter beat down. No, just 7, my bad. They're getting 2 life off of that, and if they have like another transmogrify effect, that would be a bit annoying, but I think we played the best we can. Another Birth of Meletus, so they're not immediately making another token, which is probably pretty good for us. Deafening Clarion is annoying, but we can still rebuild from it. Tome Scour is a spell, so I'm not too unhappy with it. And I think we're just going to Tome Scour ourselves. Gonna always yield to this. And then we can Finalia Promise for 0. Although I think just playing Brazen Borrower with Flash is probably slightly better, but we can keep that in mind that we can use that as a trigger for Saheeli. They make a wall. Yeah, our deck is a little bit soft to combo, just because our interactions really narrow. All we have pretty much is like IZZET Charm, and then post board we have stuff against blue combo decks, but that's about it. So it's a little bit difficult to fight, especially like this Transmogrify type deck, but I still think we're doing the best that we can. Especially just turn 2 Rest in Peace is a little bit tilting to a Phoenix deck. Sure. Um, So it's all about even converted mana costs, and that's an 11/9. Yeah, seems pretty good. Let's cast Brazen Bar. That means we can't cast Arclight Phoenixes. Might be a bit annoying. Not sure how many more bounce effects we have. I know there's at least a few. So I think we just attack with Brazen Bar, or I mean, play Steam Vents tapped. We play Nalia Promise X equals 0, just to trigger Saheeli. Although that has an even converted mana cost, so we actually need to pay X equals 1 for it. We'll do that, do that. Yeah, I'm not really sure what my plan is here. Summoning sick. Okay, that was a pretty big misplay, so I think I'm gonna pick up my cards. Only I'd actually, IZZET Charm that Gideon game, so that's whatever though. We'll join another match and see how we do. We'll be on the draw. And this is a risky keep, if we want to keep it. Although it has so much going for it that I think I'm going to keep a one-lander. Usually if you're keeping one-landers, you're keeping one-landers with opt. I'm going to play Swamp. And this is mono black aggro. I think we have a mostly favorable matchup against them. Spire Bluff Canal is really good. Question is, do we want to Tome Scour now? I think we do. We're gonna draw the spells that we need to bring back birds, so let's just make the most of our mana. I think we're gonna be preferring to Lightning Axe, something that can't exactly recur. They go Thoughtseize, rip a Treasure Cruise, then that would be a bit annoying, but I think, at least blindly, mono black aggro players are gonna Thoughtseize turn 1 if they have it in their opener, so okay, that's fine. Still think we played the more optimal thing, and our graveyard's still going to be able to power out other treasure cruises. Okay, do you have another Thoughtseize? Just a Dread Wanderer. Interesting. Did they take it just to get rid of like our discard outlets? Yeah, that's really weird. I don't know why they did that. Just play Shivan Reef. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could just Treasure Cruise. That opens up a lot of options to us, and I don't hate doing it. I think we will. Yeah, that's a pretty good draw off of that. Don't think we're going to want to use Opt right now. We're just going to want to use IZZET Charm to discard Arclight Phoenix, and then go from there. We want to leverage card advantage as much as possible, and then use Arclight Phoenix as a card advantage engine. Okay, so that requires them to be Hackbent. Spawn a Mayhem, so we need a Lightning Axe for that, pretty desperately. Do we draw? So actually, the earlier take makes a lot more sense here. Yeah, that hurts a bit. I think because we already have the IZZET Charm in hand, we'll take the other strategic planning. I guess just play a Steam Vents tapped. I don't exactly know what we can do here. This feels really rough. They're hitting us for like 8. Ugh. I don't exactly have any good takes here, so... Raisin Bar makes sense. Probably should have bounced Spawn to Mayhem, but I also feel like I'm not exactly winning if I do that. They're just gonna play it eventually. And I just want to be able to dig as deep as possible for like lightning axes. So now we pretty desperately need that lightning axe. Oh. So let's see. What does Thing in the Ice actually do? So we need to be able to block or kill when like we can be hit by Spawn of Mayhem. And then if that happens, we need to block and kill all of these others. Or we could like this says flying. So what we could do is we could Thing in the Ice, and then opt finds specifically lightning axe, and that would help us stay in the game. I think that's all we can try. Thing in the Ice. We'll opt. And we're dead. Cool. Alright, let's just go to the next game. Gonna real quick bring these Anger of the Gods in. What else do I think we want to bring in? Don't think Ox. I don't think Disdainful Stroke or Aether Gust. I don't think Saheeli either, because I can just attack it and kill it really easily. We could bring in Blitz, but the fact that it's 2 mana makes me not really want to do that. Is there anything we want to specifically bring out? I think Strategic Planning isn't very good this matchup. And Hate they could have is like Leyline of the Void. Isn't very good. Just bring both of those out. And just lean on Lightning Axe as much as possible as a discard outlet. I think that's the best thing that we can do. I know they have... Let me see exactly what they can have to hate on us with. So they actually use Soul Guide Lantern and Agonizing Remorse a little bit more. Yeah. So we don't have to, or most likely we won't have to play against really backbreaking early Leyline of the Void. This is a keep. As Treasure Cruise and Tome Scour, and then Lightning Axe plus the Arclight Phoenix. So I think we'll start with a tapped Sulphur Falls and pass the turn. There's an argument to just play that tapped turn 2 so that we can have access to our mana turn 1, but I don't exactly like that. Bloodsoaked Champion is fine because we actually have an answer to a bunch of dorks this time. Right, let's play Firebluff Canal. And then I think we can Tome Scar ourselves. I think, yeah, we'll plan next turn because Tome Scar puts 6 in the yard. and then lightning axe. So unless we need to immediately lightning axe something next turn, we most likely won't. I think what we're gonna plan to do is Tome Scour, lightning axe, treasure cruise next turn. So we'll take 2. Then we're gonna plan to block with Arclight Phoenix before we Anger of the Gods. It's gonna be more of a backup plan. Perfect. I'm absolutely fine with this board state. Cool. Wow, that's good. Another Arclight Phoenix. We'll kill that. Pitch Arclight Phoenix. Except that we have to mill, or we have to, yeah, we will have to exile one of those birds. Sad, but I still think it's the best thing to do. Drawing 3 cards right now is just really important, and it's likely going to get angered later anyway. Is one less Arclight Phoenix in the deck, but it's not the worst. Alright, yeah, totally. Then we can just hold up Izzet Charm next turn, wait for them to commit a lot of creatures to the board, and then Anger of the Gods. Then losing 2 life and using an entire kill spell on that is not something I'm upset about at all. Yeah, Island Go seems like a good line here. I think we're gonna Izzet Charm that Mutavault, most likely. They seem to be at least a little stuck on lands. Hopefully they commit another creature to the board. In that case, I'll be happy Anger of the Gods in. Yeah. I think we'll opt. Crash through is absolutely fine. It helps bring back birds. Right. So we can Anger of the Gods, crash through opt, bring back a bird. I like that a lot. We play Sulphur Falls. Red, red. Skills both of their creatures and sets us up just really well. Could they be playing? Fatal Push their own Dread Wanderer. Okay, I'm absolutely fine with that. If you're using an entire Fatal Push just to be able to bring back a 2/1, I'm not complaining. Wild Slash is good. And Treasure Cruise is very good. We'll hit them for 3. See what they do. So Dreadwander, yeah, this is the one that requires them to be heck bent. They land. What next? Does this just land go? In the aggro deck, interesting. Wonder what's in their hand. So we will Sulphur Falls, and then pay 2 mana, exile the whole yard, and Treasure Cruise. Wow, okay. Let's just play Thing in the Ice, attack with our bird, and say go. Hold up Wild Slash for their turn. Then most likely they don't have a Fatal Push, but they still could, and even then I'm not that upset. We're the one with the Arc-White Phoenix. The only threat they have is like Murderous Rider, which I am confused why they didn't play earlier. They must have something they're about to play right now. I think they would. Heartless Act, sure. Now we can like Wild Slash Finale Promise. Target Wild Slash. We want to bring back our bird. If we draw another spell, then we can definitely bring back Thing in the Ice. Or flip Thing in the Ice, that is. Oh, yeah, and Thing in the Ice doesn't die to Heartless Act. Because it has counters on it. That's cool. They're losing a ton of life, and now I think that Wild Slash line just kills them. Blood-Soaked Champion, you got it, opponent. That's 4 damage, plus the 3 from our bird. So, they're dead. Yeah. You're at 3 life. Hit you with my 3 power attacker. Yeah, so I think this really shows just the difference between like early res games with like Lightning Axe and the ones without either of those. Because Lightning Axe is, I think, part of the glue that holds this deck together. Being able to remove something and then recur an Arclight Phoenix is really good, and this, just the fact that I can hit 5 damage in a red deck is really, really good. It feels like a black spell, but costs red mana, which is usually really good, because breaking the color pie is always one of the most powerful strategies that you can find. We are just real happy that they didn't even have any kind of a hate, though. Right. I don't think we can keep this responsibly. I mean, we are in the draw. This is a really risky keep, but has extremely high upside because of the anger of the gods. Let's wait and see if they mulligan or not. They begin with 7 cards in hand. No, I'm gonna be responsible here. This isn't good, but it's not nearly as bad as that other hand. Ugh, I did the Aben Legion. That's really scary. That's a terrible draw. Whatever. As long as we get some type of like self-mill effect, we'll be able to use Treasure Cruise. So I'm still not feeling terrible about things. Let's slash that. Okay, that's cool. Lightning Axe isn't bad at all. Let's play Spiral Bluff Canal and pass the turn. We'd have to string like cantrip into cantrip to bring a bird back, which is a little bit difficult, but it's not out of the question. I think we're fine taking the 1 damage, just to have a bit more flexibility with how we use this Lightning Axe. Yeah, Yeah, we'll just pass the turn to us in case we can hit cantrip into cantrip like I had said earlier. I think we're gonna shock the steam vents in and force them to have like a fatal push. Doesn't look like they have it. Maybe they're slow rolling it. Ruborg. Right. And of course we're letting this one damage in. Because then they could just pump it and kill thing in the ice that way. Either I'm trying to wonder what they have in their hands to not activate Mutavault, to not pump the Ignite, and to not actually use a removal spell on thing in the ice. Either way, let's opt. We string 1-mana spells together really quick, then we'll be able to flip thing in the ice. Wow, yeah, I think so. We can do one of two things here. We can either finale a promise, or and that'll flip thing in the ice, or we can use Arclight Phoenix. But the fact that it like forces them to pump that and flips thing in the ice means I kind of like the finale a promise play. Yeah, let's do this. Those are both instants. Never mind. So I think we'll just we could Axe Knight. Yeah, we have no sorceries. Yeah, no, let's just play at instant speed with Lightning Axe. I don't think we want to be too hasty with that. Let's wait to see what they're gonna do. Maybe I think they could be waiting to use any kind of removal spell and thing in the ice. Okay, they're losing a lot of life. It looks like they have nothing they can play, maybe? Weird. Don't know what's going on. They play Swamp. Alright, there's the Fatal Push. I mean, we were expecting that. I'm really confused as to what they could have. Maybe they are just flooded? In that case, why aren't they activating Mutavault? Why? That's an extremely good draw. Alright, cool. Let's Tome Scour ourselves. Then we can Axe their thing. Treasure Cruise. That brings back Arclight Phoenix. Seems pretty decent. Wonder what they might be holding up here. There's removal spells that they could use on Arclight Phoenix, although I'm not exactly certain they want to be using a removal spell on Arclight Phoenix. Or like Heartless Act. Eliminate doesn't hit it. It has too high CMC. Yeah, I'm really not certain what they could have. And we've drawn enough cards from our deck just naturally that there is actually no, it's like every 15 cards there should be an Arclight Phoenix, so we've already hit the expected one. So it's actually less chance that we hit an Arclight Phoenix off of this just because we've already drawn one. The math on hitting those of Tome Scour is weird, and we've talked about it on the Discord, but like sometimes you just want to save Tome Scours and not use them. You want to use like cantrips first because they represent actual cards. Tome Scour is actually -1 to card advantage unless it hits an Arclight Phoenix. So a lot of the time you'll want to thin your deck as much as possible, and then use Tome Scour if you don't hit an Arclight Phoenix. Although right now we're just using it as a spell to use treasure or to power Treasure Cruise and to add to Arclight Phoenix count. I want to call it Storm count, but I'll just name this new count off of Arclight Phoenix itself. Yeah, opponent's sure taking a while to figure out what to play. Um, I could start to, yeah, I don't know what to do here. On Arena, at least ropes them. Now, oh, our opponent's lost connection to the game. That's sad. At least wanted to play a game of Magic. We automatically win in like 5 minutes, right? Although, I'm really confused still as to what they have in their hands. Because their play pattern's been so abnormal that I should know what it is, that I just don't. It's not like they've been like their really high drops have been stuck in their hand, because technically the only high drops that they play in that deck are Rankle and Spawn of Mayhem, and they've had enough mana for those. Yet they have, and they don't seem to be flooded because they haven't activated Mutavault, and they could be like pretty confident just activating Mutavault and attacking with it, because even if we kill it, they still have more lands in hand under this scenario where they are land screwed, or not land screwed but land flooded. All they've done is activate Castle Lochthwain, and I don't know. It's not like they like cited in Kalitas and haven't been able to play him, because they have. Are they just like wanting to protect their knight at all costs and are only wanting to like keep up, or always wanting to keep up enough mana to be able to pump it if we use a removal spell on it? But even that doesn't play against the removal spell we play the most of, Lightning Axe, so I don't think that one's true either. Maybe they're playing around a board sweeper and they're only playing out their threats one at a time. I mean, I guess I could understand that, but I'd want to play out threats more like 2 at a time, to where they get a tempo advantage and I get or like usually you'd want to play like 1 drop because they have 12 1-drops and are likely able to do that. So then all I'm doing is using 3 mana to kill 2 2-drops. I get card advantage, but they get tempo advantage. So I'd imagine you'd want to play out threats 2 at a time. So I don't think they're playing around sweepers. That unless they haven't drawn another one of their 12 1-drops that they usually play, because it's usually like 4 champion, 4 Dreadwander, 4 knights, and even Scrappy Scroungers an honorary 1-drop. I'm really confused as to what's going on here. It does say that 2 minutes ago they joined the game again, but they're still just hovering over this Tome Scour. Now, what other scenarios can we actually envision are going on here? I really wonder. Because I want to be able to use like make the most out of this Lightning Axe, but I actually don't think we're gonna have to worry about doing that, because we're about to cast Treasure Cruise. We can, and we also have a Finale of Promise in hand. We can find another Lightning Axe. This art for Lightning Axe is sweet, by the way. It really has like there's a ton of motion in this. Like you're actually just like chucking the axe, and it really feels like there's an arc to it, because there's the electricity going off the guy's fingertips and kind of trailing behind the back of the axe. It feels like this is like spun once in the air and then it's about to like land right in whatever you're targeting. It's nice. I like it a lot. So yeah, usually when I'm completely out of ideas to what to talk, or as to what to talk about, that's when I start talking about the art and cards. So that's what's going on there. Um, I took like a design class, so I know at least a little bit about like composition and things like that. Um, and I did like it was called broadcast in middle school. It was like one of those elective classes that you get in middle school that's not really an elective because it's not structured like one, but still it might as well be one. So um, there's this one that I took every year called broadcast because the teacher was really cool. It was like Mr. D, we always called him because he had a really complicated last name. I remember what it is. I'm not going to say it on stream though. It was super cool. He was like seemed like some like hipster teacher. He had I actually remember he had a natural piece of gray hair, but he instead of like dyeing it over, he always styled it with the rest of his hair. All right, we win the match. Cool. I can stop talking about life experiences, but I guess I'll keep doing that in Q. And the guy was really cool and understanding. Like the only real major rule that he'd get like pissy at people at is no eating in the classroom. But the classroom was the library, and he didn't want stuff getting in the carpet because it made it worse to film in. That was the only reason that he didn't like food in there because everything would like stick in there and the janitors didn't clean it enough. Um, and he actually said, if you want to eat, just step out. Like I'll understand. Which is actually really cool of him. Um, I love teachers like that are really understanding, and you always end up remembering them, and you remember the lessons that they teach you um, so much more than other teachers. I had like a natural aptitude for math, and I kind of just learned it myself. And a lot of the teachers that I've had are not as high quality. Um, some of them have been amazing, and I remember pretty much everything that they've taught me. One of my teachers, actually, I'm not taking his class this year. Um, I'm a junior in high school, but I took his class both last year and the year before. Also plays Magic, and he's probably one of the coolest guys I know. Um, so it's gonna be really weird going back to high school and not having like just like technically we're going back to high school. We have all of our classes. There's probably going to be the same amount of work, maybe or hopefully a little bit less because I don't like doing work, but whatever. And it's just going to be so weird just not going through the halls. Like I know I'm going to be real comfortable. I'm just going to be like sitting here on my computer with my two monitors, my $100 webcam, and $1,000 computer and amazing setup. Just humble brag right there. Actually, that's not a humble brag. That's just a brag. Um, but it's gonna be weird for everybody else. This is a Yeah, this is a good hand. It allows us like a kind of toolbox strategy with Finalia Promise. I'm fine with this. Also has an early Lightning Axe. Literally the only thing it needs is a threat. And card or like um hands that do what they need um by themselves and only really need a threat because like you need a threat to win the game are a lot better than the hands that enable specific threats. Alright, we're against mono black again. I think we have about an even matchup with them. It's a bit of a struggle, and playing on the draw feels like playing pretty substantially behind. Okay, with an island. But it still doesn't feel backbreaking, if that makes sense. Blitz of the Thunder Raptor is a good draw. That was a misplay. I should have played Mountain, because now I'm going to need to take a damage. I think we're just going to play on Curve, and Blitz of the Thunder Raptor, Blitzsoak Champion. We're going to use Tome Scour to be able to power out another one of those. I'm very high on Blitz of the Thunder after playing with it a little bit. It's very easy to get cards in your graveyard as the IZZET Phoenix deck, especially when you're playing like Tome Scour just to use on yourself. Sulfur Falls, interesting. So I think I'm gonna start by Tome Scouring myself. I'm gonna see, or myself. I'm gonna see if I can get a bird in play this turn, and I'm also going to set up for a later finale of Promise. Okay, so there's no bird in the yard. I still don't think I'm gonna Sulfur Falls. I don't have to worry about having enough spells for bird because finale of Promise. So let's crash there. If I get bird, then that's good. That's not terrible. I can just Lightning Axe pitch land. And then next turn I can finale of Promise X equals 2. Play like Tome Scour, IZZET Charm. It would suck if I got Thoughtseized. So don't Thoughtseize me upon it, please. Don't Thoughtseize, please. We're just gonna get hit for 3 here. That sucks. Alright. Whatever. We haven't been able to hit anything, so that's not the absolute best, but if we hit any of our engine cards, we're generally in good shape, and cam trips are fine too. Hey, thing in the ice is great. They can only have so much disruption, right? Right? That's okay. Yeah, the actual threat that mono black poses isn't like their individual threats, because some of them are pretty good. Rankle's real annoying. Um, like that's about all I can say. But the real scary part about the deck is just like how much cheap disruption they have. Having Fatal Push and Thoughtseize is really really good. They're gonna force us to axe that Spawn of Mayhem. I actually think I'm gonna shock in Steam Vents. Um. Oh. Yeah, never mind. That was I was gonna hardcast Arclight Phoenix. Um. Yeah, let's just pass turn actually. Yeah, I was thinking, oh yeah, I can just like discard some random card other than Arclight Phoenix. And I'm like, oh wait, I don't have cards in hand. Um. So this looks like lethal. So they're forcing us to axe. So what we will do, which will make it a bit difficult to bring back Phoenixes. We're pretty much just going to need to hit an engine card or a string of cantrips. Both of which are not exactly likely to happen, but that's okay. Okay, playing that as a creature. Yeah, cool. So we will go to the next game. And we are a lot better after sideboarding because we have a fun tool. It's called Anger of the Gods. Yeah, the Blitz just is able to do so much. It's able to kill planeswalkers, it's able to kill creatures, and it exiles them at instant speed for 2 mana. Like, you usually don't want to play 2 mana removal spells, but wow, that's a good one. I don't think we want anything else either. The 1 Blitz is usually enough. We might need another later. I think we keep this? Yeah. I mean, 3 engine cards isn't, and no Tome Scour isn't ideal, but that's okay. I think we're just gonna play Island and pass it turn. And 1 Bloodsoaked Champion. Seems pretty normal for their deck. IZZET Charm is a pretty big help. That'll help us draw lands and pitch cards for our engine cards. It'll hopefully help us find a Tome Scour to really get those cards going, because being able to really rip through my deck with Treasure Cruise helps a lot. It's odd. I don't know why they didn't attack with Bloodsoaked Champion. You can usually like bluff with it at least a little bit. I think I'm gonna hold up IZZET Charm in the case that I need to use it to like if they play a creature first, then, or like if they don't play a land, well they played a land, but if they don't have enough mana to Fatal Push something and they try to Fatal Push something, I'll do that. The fact that they didn't, I'm always scared in case they have like -X style spells to block with that kind of stuff, but the fact that they didn't actually block last time means that I kind of want to do it. I think most likely they're taking IZZET Charm here. So what I'm going to do is cast IZZET Charm now, just to get as many spells in the graveyard as possible. It's not like they can take all of my engine cards. We're always discarding Arclight Phoenix. And I actually think we also usually are discarding Treasure Cruise. Yeah, I think we want both Crash Through and Opt, and like force them to take Finale of Promise. Yeah, that seems to make sense to me. As much as I hate to discard treasure cruise, they could also like take treasure or take treasure cruise here, and I'm actually not that upset about it just because I'm able to use finale, I promise. Alright, cool. So about what we thought happened or would happen happened. Helm Scour is really good. Now we're definitely flipping this thing in the ice and rezzing a bird. That seems pretty good. I don't know about you guys, but I think that seems pretty good. No extra birds. That's a bit annoying, but that's okay. And let's play Treasure Cruise. Exile 7 things. So this one, this one, this one. I always start with creature or with like non-Phoenix creatures, engine cards and lands, and then I decide which other cards I'm gonna exile, and I think I'm gonna exile off tier. It's usually like I want to be able to keep key cards in hand for what is it? Finale, I promise. I think I will probably opt here just so that I can at will give our flipped thing in the ice trample. And this is the power thing in the ice. The card's really good. Kind of wish I had Tome Scour earlier, but it's not the worst. It helps like flip things and bring back birds, and also put birds in the yard. But the real reason it's in there is to power our engine cards. We know 3 of the cards in their hand are just creatures. Cool. We get the win. We didn't even have to use Anger of the Gods. Pretty cool. Yeah. A lot of people will look at Arclight Phoenix and they'll say, well, the deck's not that good. It just like it goes off sometimes and looks really good. And I think like all that going off for this deck is flipping a Thing in the Ice. It looks really powerful, and it is, because Thing in the Ice is just a good card. And of course the deck is a little bit more inconsistent compared to other decks because it doesn't have Manamorphose, but I still think like IZZET Phoenix is playable. Like, I just play this deck not because I actually think it's good, I just like it. And this has a really good plan, not specifically against mono black aggro, just in general. But it's able to play like a Storming Entity turn 3. It's not worth mulliganing, that's all I'm saying here. I'm gonna keep that Crash Through in my hand so that I can use it to power that Storming Entity. And the power of Storming Entity is mostly just that it can't be killed by what is it? Like Fatal Push or Eliminate, which are generally the two. Okay, we actually don't care about that much this game. Can't be killed by just a lot. We can strategic planning or hold up Brazen Borrower. I like strategic planning a little bit more. I think we're still gonna take some Finale, I promise, even though they have Soul Guide Lantern. I'm gonna force them to use Soul Guide Lantern later. Okay, cool. We're absolutely fine with that. Oh, they're using it to hopefully get a land. Interesting. Or no, they just had another one. That's fine. Still, we have Petty Theft. We have Treasure Cruise. We're getting hit for 4 here, which sucks a good amount, but I mean, I'm still not that upset with how things are going. Eventually we'll... that's not a good draw. Whatever. Let's just do this. And, like, this doesn't turn off Treasure Cruise, which is the best thing about it. Unless they have to use, like, preemptively before we actually Treasure Cruise. Let's just Storming Entity, Sky 2. I think I just want to top. Anger of the Gods is very good in this board state, to say the least. We're gonna get hit for a lot of damage, but we're just gonna say, hey, opponent, that board state? Yeah, not exactly there anymore. Are they chump attacking, I wonder? They are. I don't have to wonder anymore. We'll block. That was probably the worst one to block. I just blocked it because it was in the middle. Oh, no, 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 no. Opponent. Opponent. You're not supposed to play into it. Oh my god. That card's so good. It's just so good. Got their dorky Soul Guide Lantern that's not even good against us. Well, it is, but whatever. That's okay. It's good against us, just not right now, because we have Storming Entity. Cracking it to draw a card. Interesting. And now we can use Finale of Promise. Castle Lochthwain. Ouch. Alright. Let's go, boys. Oh yeah, that other Storming Entity I put there. I forgot about you, I'm sorry. Let's just Izzet Charm. Let's Izzet Charm it up and draw 2, discard 2. Alright, we'll put those away for later. Discard. Yeah. And just play our prowess threats first, because we're playing prowess now, guys. It was never Izzet Phoenix to begin with. It was all just a dream. I think Izzet Charm is fine. It's slightly better than most of my cards. I actually think land would have been a better draw. Yeah, it would have been. That's okay. Sometimes we make mistakes. I'm the one who has made those mistakes. Anyway, yeah. Fatal push this, opponent. Cool, we win the match. Yeah, I don't think Mono Black just has an answer for that card. Because they play Fatal Push, Thoughts, or yeah, Heartless Act. Oh, Heartless Act kills it, but lists I'm seeing only play like a Heartless Act. They can use Rankle, Master of Prankles to make us sacrifice a creature, but then we block the said Master of Prankles very well. So even then I'm not upset with blocking with that. Anyway, yeah, this deck is amazing. I mean, it's not, because it's not putting up any results, despite the fact that people really, really love it and play it a good amount, but you know, sometimes that happens. I like the deck regardless. It's really, really fun. When I started playing the game, I was just like, is it Phoenix? Isn't that just like Storm with creatures? And wow, no, I'm wrong. The deck is blue-red and plays a lot of cantrips, but I think that's about where the similarities stop. Except in Modern, you get like Aria of Flame, and then both decks will play Aria of Flame, but that seems to be the only real commonality. Yeah, that seems to be it. But yeah, Storm is really fun, and there is a version of Storm in this format. It's just like Lotus Storm, but go watch Lydia if you want to watch that. Anyway, we're on the draw. Let's focus on this game. Yeah, I'll keep. I mean, it has like too many engine cards, but the only thing this hand needs to be good is like a Tome Scour or a strategic planning, or is it Charm? So many cards that we play 4 of that will make this hand amazing. Which makes me not upset at all to keep it. The fact that they revealed Yorion makes me think that this is just 5-color Nev. Which I think we have a good matchup against. Alright, cool. Sounds great, Ace. We're playing Izzet Phoenix because of course we are. That's the only deck I know how to play. All I know is bird and turn sideways. Or red black you are on? Question mark? I don't know. Let's play into Fatal Push. Yeah. They're gonna use Fatal Push eventually. Let's just make it happen now. Back on Phoenix, because why would you not be on Phoenix? Yeah. Phoenix is the best deck. It's just so good. Recursive threats against control, amazing answers that give you value against aggro. Um, all I know is bird and turn sideways. I love birds. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, well, they're land screwed, but we're kind of like good cards screwed. So let's just play Steam Vents tapped and pass. And if we had a target for Lightning Axe, this turn would be pretty poggers, but we don't, so it's not. Oh no, it's just it's that stupid Grixis Yorion deck. It says idiot Nicol Bolas Larpers. Just opt, play Storming Entity, and hold up Lightning Axe. Yup, I'm keeping that one. We're screwed. No, I had specifically good cards screwed. So we're likely only drawing one of these cards that we're scrying to the top, and we're gonna mill the other. Ooh, strategic planning. Don't think we want Lightning Axe, but I'm absolutely fine drawing strategic planning, seeing the 3 engine cards we have in hand. We're not screwed at all. We have an amazing start. We forced them to use Fatal Push, and now they have to specifically use Heartless Act to kill Stormwing Entity. Yeah, they're just land screwed. Nice. Actually, I probably shouldn't be saying that. I feel bad for your opponents. That sucks that you can't play Magic the Gathering. That's how you're supposed to do it, right? Ooh, I like Phoenix. Strategic planning. Doo-doo-doo. I don't even know which one to pick. Oh, but we can Tome Scour off Finale of Promise. Yay! Treasure Cruise. Doot, doot, doot. Make sure to keep that Tome Scour in there for that plan I just said. Doot. Trigger prowess. Alright, it's bird time. We're about to bird, and we're about to turn sideways. Bonk. Pog, I guess? What do you mean, I guess? All there is Pog. We got to play solitaire this game. I'm having fun. Alright, what do they got? Cool. Against control, I like Saheeli. You'd think with half my decks being lands, I could draw one. How many lands do you play? You ever like be at your shop or something like that, and one of like the first questions people will ask you is, "Oh, you're not drawing lands? How many lands are you playing?" Okay, that that was a joke, but they totally went into it. I actually like keeping Lightning Axe in against these decks. They're actually more creature heavy than most things. Wild Slash, however, sucks. So we're not going to keep it in. And let's see. I could say that's not half. That'd be pretty funny. No, I'm not going to be that rude. I think cut a strategic planning. Cut an IZZET charm. Cut a crash through. What? Maybe if we're already bringing in the Sahelias, I don't think we need the 2 Oxes. Or Oxen, it would be. and just submit like this. Yeah, the actual best results I've had playing Pioneer are just with Arclight Phoenix. Like, it has put up no results. I think I just actually know how to play this deck, and it helps a lot. Um, no, I think I've logged like at least 100 matches with this deck now. I played a ton on Untap for testing. I've played multiple qualifiers with it. Um, I've played like a lot of FNMs with it. um, so I think I actually know how to play this deck. At least I'd like to say that I do. Demon's tapped. Lightning Axe isn't the worst draw. It's like better than land. So not completely upset with it. Although we already have a discard outlet in IZZET Charm. Even though we might actually just want to prefer to use that as like a counter spell. So we're not going to play into the obvious counter spell they have lined up for us. We're just going to pass turn. We could IZZET Charm their Omen of the Sea, but I also don't like doing that at all. I kind of just want to goad them into playing a creature so that we can Lightning Axe it, and then have a Funny As It Phoenix turn. Because Funny As It Phoenix turns are always the best turns. What do I keep forgetting to do? Change the channel point rewards? Oh, I do keep forgetting to do that. That is something I need to do. Addy needs to have his rights revoked. Now we stop them from being able to do anything about Arclight Phoenixes and force them to have a anchor. Okay, I'm pretty cool with that. Let's opt, preferring an engine card. Probably the absolute worst card we can draw, followed up by the second worst card we could draw. That's not the worst. I actually like that a pretty good amount. We can like Axe a Nicol Bolas and then play Storming Entity. Although they can't play Anger of the Gods. What is this? Oh, Shark Typhoon? Sure. Get birded. um, I actually want to change one of my like animations, maybe like the subscriber one, to the Get Stick Bugged. That was a pretty funny meme. I've been really liking that one. Alright, play your Nicol Bolas. You Nicol Bolas. Oh no, this is Anchor of the Gods, isn't it? Ouchie. Now we need a 1-mana spell to be able to play our Stormwing entity. Youch. Play a tap Spiral of Canal, be sad, and pass the turn. Play your Nicol Bolas opponent. I want to kill it. Please. Oh no, is this Teferi? Oh no, it's like 4-mana Planeswalkers. Oh, Narset, that's also annoying. I do like lands. They're amazing, and a tap for mana. Now they're generating value off of Narset? Can you not? What'd they reveal? Huh? Oh. Oh. Not sure how I feel about that. I think just play Storming Entity for the Scry. Because it's gonna get Eldest Reborned. Like, whether it be now or later. Yeah. I guess like this. Because we're just looking for engine cards. We're able to hit, like, a Treasure Cruise or something like that, then we'll be pretty good off, or well off. That's the word, not good off. That's not how you speak English. only Lightning Axe could target planeswalkers. That would be really cool. So, I wonder what they'd bring back. Because I don't have any creatures or planeswalkers in the yard. Let's Chivalry. Oop. Oop. Strategic planning. Opt is pretty good. But I think we're gonna wait to play it. Again, we're just digging for engine cards. 5 mana Scry too. True. It's pretty much a card, like I always say. Lightning Axe seems like it sucks. But, no, that probably just should have been Steam Vents. Anyway. We still have 4 Treasure Cruises in our deck. We'll hit one eventually. Right? Right. Right. That's how that works. You eventually always, or eventually you always draw the exact card you're looking for. That's how Magic the Gathering works, right? Oh. Is this like Ashiok? Nightmare Weaver? Oh no, it's the scary Nicol Bolas, which we're definitely going to Mystical Dispute so that they don't draw any more cards. No. It's not good either. Neither is that. Pass the turn. Tome Scour is gonna be a great Phoenix enabler. Oh. Oh. Okay. It's in flavor too. At least we'll be on the play this time. Are any of our sideboard cards just bad, I wonder? Yeah, I think Saheeli is just not good enough against them. But what would I play instead? Yeah, I think no, Saheeli is better than like 4th Izzet Charm, 4th Strategic Planning. I don't think Ox is. Maybe we just want more engine cards versus them. But no, I think we only lost that game because we drew 0 engine cards, even though we play like. Yeah, we only play 5. Maybe we want more. Maybe Ox instead of Saheeli. It's a body on the ground and it attacks planeswalkers real well. Let's try it out. We will definitely be on the play. And definitely keep this hand. Wow, this is really great. This forces them to have exactly a like turn 2 Fatal Push, or else we can like start countering Fatal Pushes with Izzet Charm. And Thing in the Ice, in this case, will definitely flip. We can use Izzet Charm to put Box of Agonis in the yard. They lead on tapped Sulfur Falls. Not sure what that could mean about their mana situation. We're gonna play untapped Sulfur Falls. How about them, opponent? Thing in the Ice, pass turn. Right. No, don't do it. Are they slow rolling it? I hope they are, if they have it. Island's an amazing draw. I think we will just pass the turn. It's not like we're going to be able to bring back a Phoenix anyway, and I think our major plan here is just protect Thing in the Ice however possible. Oh, you slow rolled it, didn't you? Oh. Look at this idiot slow rolling their Fatal Push. I could be celebrating preemptively here, but I also might not be, and I'll be really happy if that's the case. Pay 2. Alright. We can't beat another Fatal Push, but when can we ever? Okay. Can't do anything about that one, but that's okay. Sometimes you can't do anything about things. think no, opt during my next turn is probably the best. Oh, that is an opt, and it is my next turn. Ugh. No, we already have Ox. Um, let's just pass the turn and like leverage opt, I guess. I don't know. We just need a threat. Um, yeah, let's just use opt. They're obviously holding up counter magic right now, but we're able to deal with counter magic real well. Tome Scour is nice. I wish we knew about that before we bottomed King Axes. Don't want you. Oh yeah, I boarded real wrong in that case. That's okay. Let's Tome Scour ourselves. Maybe we'll like hit our other Ox. We don't. Um, at least we're able to like hard cast Fate or Mystical Dispute against any non-blue spells. Finale of Promise is good. The question is, does it resolve? And I think we need to trust that it will. Cast like Tome Scour Opt. Because we do have protection from like one counter spell. The concern is that they'll have two. Oh, they just let it happen? Oh. Um, don't think we want that. Phoenixes? Okay, that's a Phoenix, so that counts. It's at least a threat in play. That's what matters. And I think for the most part we can just pretend these lightning axes aren't here. Moment of the Sea is fine. I think we're going to be a bit more concerned about planeswalkers. At this point we can just play Oxybagonas. What's this? Sure. And if they just try to slam a turn 5 Nev, we'll, or not Nev, but Bolus, then we'll Mystical Dispute their LARPing ass. Do it. Slam that 5 mana Nev, you know you want to. That's fine. We can get it back. No. Stop that. Yeah, I'll just play Oxyvagonus. It's a 4/2. It is really good once it's in our yard. We can still hold up Mystical Dispute and opt. We're not in the worst situation. We're not exactly in a good one either. It's obvious they're not playing around Mystical Dispute, and they might not play it around it again if they try to like slam a 5 mana Nev. Or, I keep saying Nev. It's Bolus. That's annoying, but I'm not sure how upset I can be about an Ox in the yard. Sure, we can deal with that pretty easy. I didn't think they were this aggressive of a deck. They seemed like a lot more controlling. Maybe these are like sideboard cards? Or, no, this isn't a sideboard card, but I know this would be. Of course, we don't care about mana nearly as much, so we're gonna be keeping Opt for our turn for like our Arclight Phoenix. Bring back shenanigans. Okay, so we can definitely bring back at least one Phoenix. Let's see if we can get more than that, because then we can completely take out Chandra. Let's start off with an Opt, though. Alright, we're preferring not to play Ox of Agonis, so we'll Treasure Cruise next. Wow. No Arclight Phoenixes. Damn. We'll Treasure Cruise now. Again, preferring lands as much as possible. I think we're gonna Opt. And then be actually okay in case we draw a land. I don't think we want Crash through. Yeah, so we're gonna shock this land in, and then we can keep up 2 layers of counter spells. I think we attack Acolyte of Flame to turn off her -2. Yeah, now we have a lot of just counterspell protection, and I think we're generally in a pretty good place. That Ox was huge. I'm really happy that I brought it in. Luca? Didn't take this as a Luca deck. Well, either way, we're gonna counter it. Because yeah, what creatures might they be playing? Their deck's really cool, though. I really like it. It plays this really interesting Planeswalker package. I've seen, like, what is it? 5-mana Bolas decks before, but this one actually seems to be built intelligently with a lot of synergy packages, and I like it a lot. I appreciate that. Actually, do we want to Ox, or do we just want to hold up Mystical Dispute? I like holding up Mystical Dispute a little bit more. Let's wait until we can actually attack with Thing in the Ice to try to be leaning on it. And we'll kill Chandra, because again, we don't want them to be able to Dreadbore our Thing in the Ice that we're actually wanting to lean into as much as possible. This Mystical Dispute doesn't seem all that powerful right now, but anything that we're going to want to counter is going to cost like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to cost 5 mana, and that's how much. It's going to cost like 5 or 6 mana because it's going to be a 5-mana Planeswalker, or it's going to be a Shark Typhoon, and they need to play land right now for them to be able to pay for a Mystical Dispute in that case. Leyline of the Void. Okay. I think we're still gonna Mystical Dispute it. No, I don't think we are. Let me think. Because if they have another good card, then it's always gonna get countered. And they can just play. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this resolve. If they try to play something, then now we Mystical Dispute it. There's a chance they won't, and in that case, we're still like at an advantage, if this makes sense. Right. I think we're going to be setting up for our next turns as much as possible, so let's Thing in the Ice. Because we're starting to run out of cards in our deck, which is a little bit of a concern. We mill ourselves a lot. Oh, I forgot. These cards still exist. So we can still use Oxyvagonus in our yard. I forgot about that. I thought Leyline of the Void, for a second I thought that Leyline of the Void worked like Rest in Peace. It doesn't. Cracking that to Scry too. Which powers down any kind of Yorion tricks they could do. So they're going to need a pretty good sweeper to be able to deal with our board right now, and even then we have a Phoenix in hand and a Nox in the yard, so not sure how upset I can be with the current game state. I am just worried about not killing them before I run out of cards in my library. That wouldn't be cool if I wasn't able to kill him before that happened. Sure. Do they have removal for the other thing in the ices, I wonder? Or things in the ice? Could be. So Tome Scour is only good for using thing in the ice, and I think I'm going to play it. The fact that they didn't immediately remove those thing in the ices just because it's a slight upside that they get exiled. This means I'm going to be more willing to do this. And the fact that these just kill them if they flip this turn makes me want to do that more. And we still have a backup plan of an Arclight Phoenix in hand. I'm just so worried about decking out. Haha. And I guess, like, Lightning Axe. Oh, but then, yeah, we use this, and then Arclight Phoenix goes exile. Alright. If they have removal, that's gonna really suck. Alright, let's do this. But Phoenix is actually better than Treasure Cruise. Taking it off of off of strategic planning is. Alright. We're dead if they have removal. Yes! Let's go! Oh, that was tense. Wow, let's see if we can get the 4-1. Wow. Let's go. Oh my god. Oh, my stomach was doing somersaults there. And the Leyline of the Void, their deck was so cool. I loved that. Like, it was genuinely really, really cool. But, like, Yorion to be able to blink their planeswalkers. Like, yeah, I've seen, yeah, so I've seen Nicol Bolas decks, but I haven't seen Nicol Bolas Dragon God decks. Usually it's the M19 card. Oh, that deck was so cool. Played it and like Shark Typhoon. They had that one Planeswalker card for fixing. So sweet. I think I recognize this guy as a Niv Mizzet player. This is a pretty okay hand against Niv Mizzet. Lightning Axe is there to actually kill things here. We're gonna be on the draw. They start off with a Steam Fence. I think we're gonna start off with a tap Sulphur Falls. No, with a Mountain actually. And pass the turn. Interesting. Maybe a blue-red deck. Those are the colors that they've been playing, that they've played so far. Could be another Grixis deck. Or maybe like Jeskai Orion I've also seen. That's not ideal. I think we just pass the turn. There's nothing else I'm really looking to do here. Sure, we can bounce one of those. Or we can bounce that and like try to bait their counters. I'll take one. There's a lot of times when I'll be like wondering whether or not to actually just wait to use my removal, and usually if it's only like 1 damage, I'm absolutely fine doing that. Lots of treasure cruises like this isn't the best. I'm actually fine just doing this. Snarethopter beatdown, as Overturf would say. Pass the turn. Fabled Passage. Maybe they've been stuck on mana and this Fabled Passage is going to change that. Yeah, it's just Gaia Luca. Ugh. At least we'll be able to like lightning axe some of their tokens so that they can't use Luca. Pretty good. I think we're gonna play Thing in the Ice. At least we know that they're not actually going to be interacting with us during our turn. Let's kill their wall now. Just in case they play like Luca right after this. God, I hate 3 mana Teferi so much. Yeah, I was scared if they played like Luca right here, they'd be able to play an Agent of Treachery, steal like our Thing in the Ice, I guess. I don't know. But either way, that would be a pretty good play on their part if they could do it. So, like they're not, so we'll be fine. Interesting. They're bouncing the Arclight Phoenix rather than the Thing in the Ice. Huh. A good top deck that can just blow up right in their faces. Right in their face. I don't think they have multiple faces. This is gonna make another token, except we'll be able to interact with that token. No, we won't, because we need to... Okay, so we do need to have an Arclight Phoenix turn next turn. We want to... Okay, that's not what I meant by Arclight Phoenix turn. Whatever, let's hope they don't have a Luca, because I think that's about all we can do. We can't interact with that wall. The timing windows don't match up because of that stupid, dumb, stupid card. Either way, they don't have all that many good targets for Agent of Treachery. Okay, they're scrying too. Like they're probably aggressively scrying for like a Luca. Because yeah, they're gaining 2 life and then making a wall. And then if they transmogrify the wall, that would be kind of annoying. They'll have 2 spells. Yup. Oh, we wouldn't have been able to blitz that anyway. Okay, they're just taking a land. That's probably not that bad, right? I don't know. And then they play Yorion. Blink Agent? Ugh. Did they just take another land? We're gonna need some real good draws to beat this. Oh! Ow! Ow! That hurt. Don't do that, opponents. Let's bring in Mystical Dispute. I think those might be good cards. These also might be good cards. I think I'm gonna take out Blitz and probably Wild Slash, I think. Because they're usually making tokens that Wild Slash can't kill. Cut a Crash Throw. Cut maybe a Strategic Planning. And boom, boom, boom. Good Treasure Cruise. Yeah, this seems good. I'll try this one out. We'll play first this time. That might help us. Yeah, keep. I think we're gonna start off with a tap Sulphur Falls, since this opt is likely gonna be used to bring out Arclight Phoenix. We generally have protection from a lot of the nonsense that they could be doing. That's not Ragarin Triumph, but other Triumph. Alright, cool. I'm pretty happy playing Spirebluff Canal here, passing the turn. Then we can keep up Disdainful Stroke and IZZET Charm. Seems pretty good to me. Alright. I should have IZZET Charm draw 2 discarded 2 there earlier. That would have allowed me to do my Phoenix thing this turn. Would have been pretty good. Moment of the Sea. Sure. Yeah, not using my IZZET Charm there was a little bit of a punt, but I guess it plays around 3 mana to vary. Yeah, we'll go with that. That wasn't punt, more as it was just a misplay, you know? Well, they obviously don't have 3 mana to vary. Let's just cast Brazen Bar. The good threat. And we have 2 other layers of protection. Or disruption, that would be. Tap Spirebluff Canal and attack in with Brazen Bar. You've returned to test a thing? Is it watch time? Ooh. Might it be a command related thing? Yeah, it was, but you know. Cycle a Ketria Triumph. Opponent, that's a green Triumph. I thought you were a 3-color deck. I'm a 4-color deck. Stop playing so many colors. Oh. Okay. I guess Brazen Borrower is gone now. That's okay though. The fact that they haven't slammed anything good is probably reason enough to use as a charm to throw this bird in the yard. And we're likely gonna hit an op or a land off of one of these ops, so. Ooh. Thing in the Ice pass. And then use Disdainful Stroke to counter whatever nonsense they try to do, and then opt and like have the buddies back in town. I always call it Thing in the Ice and Arclight Phoenix buddies, because they've been here since Modern. Like, I think they're friends, you know? A bird and a sea monster, you know? They're friends. Can you not, opponent? Let's opt and see if we can draw a Mystical Dispute. Argue with our opponent over whether or not they should be playing Teferi. The answer is no. That was the one thing that playing that IZZET Charm when we didn't play around. That hurts a bit. A little bit in the bones. Oh. I think we just bring back Arclight Phoenix because... No, I actually think playing the thing in the ice first is probably a better idea. It's slower, but it actually is meaningful on the game, or on like the game state, and I don't know. Let's just play double thing in the ice. Say good luck. Um, if you got like a good sweeper, that is definitely gonna help you. What do they got? Team vents. Okay. Seems just maybe that they're holding up. What is it? Supreme Verdict, and maybe we shouldn't have played both things in the ice. No. It's actually really good. Well, let's make him have it. Oh, wait. Yeah, no instance. So, let's start off with an opt. I guess this kind of helps. So we can finale a promise later. Right. Maybe this will disincentivize them a bit from playing Supreme Verdict. Well, that didn't work, but, you know, that's okay. Oh, wait, our finale of promise just doesn't work. That would have been a huge punt earlier, because I always forget the Fairy Time Raveler turns off one of my favorite cards, because of course he does. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's pick our cards up. This seems like a really difficult matchup for us. Either way, we got another 3-2, which I can't exactly be all that upset about. We can open a chesty. A Trilobite and 25 play points. Dude, how much is Cryptic Trilobite? I gotta know. Not that I'm gonna sell it ever. I love this. It's 0.32. That's actually not that bad. Look at this. It's a Trilobite. Either way, I actually probably don't want to play Spirits today. I'm just gonna hop off. But yeah, that was a pretty fun league. See ya, everybody.